Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Clear. I am your host Sivan Sahi, and on this podcast, we provide you with the most detailed and accurate analysis of geopolitical and global affairs based on reliable sources. So today we are going to be talking about the 28-point Ukraine peace plan. It is a comprehensive proposal which has been put forth by the United States amid the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which is a raging conflict. This plan, reportedly drafted with significant input from the United States and Russia, aims to provide a framework to end the war and establish lasting peace in the region. The 28-point peace plan outlines a broad set of measures, steps, and doctrines to address the territorial, military, and diplomatic issues which are currently fueling the conflict. The persisting issues which are at the root of the conflict. And the key elements of this plan include confirmation of Ukraine's sovereignty, which is a necessary step, and the comprehensive non-aggression pact between Ukraine, Russia, and European states. A trilateral pact which shows that the United States is trying to make to get things arranged in a way which ensures that there is a lasting peace in European region and that no further conflict shall emerge on the surface in future. And it also proposes a security dialogue which is mediated by the United States and takes place between Russia and NATO. Its primary purpose, according to me, is to ensure that if any confusion arises between NATO and Russia in the future, Russia and NATO can resolve it through dialogue rather than conflict or any escalatory measure. And the United States under that scenario can act as a reliable and justified mediator in the conflict. It will not be a third party to that situation, because in this dialogue it has already made itself the primary mediator. So it will be an advantageous situation with regards to diplomatical measures, at least from what appears on the surface right now. Territorial arrangements are also there, and the primary one of them is that it implies a de facto recognition of Russian control over Crimea and the eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. And the plan aims to reduce the size of Ukrainian military to somewhere around 600,000 from currently a personnel which is over 800,000. And it also prohibits a NATO membership for Ukraine. This is a huge victory for Russia and Vladimir Putin, I would say, that after 3 long years of raging war, they have managed to get what they have long desired, a guarantee that in the future no such step will be taken by Ukraine which shall signify that it is trying to join NATO. It also has designed certain mechanisms for prisoner exchanges. Prisoner of wars will be exchanged from both sides, so it will be a great thing for all those who have been affected by the war, all those who have been caught in the crossfire, all those people whose family members have fought in this war. So it will be a good thing for all those people. And it has also outlined certain set of civilian and humanitarian protection and relief measures. And it has proposed a peace council establishment and it is said to be chaired by President Donald Trump himself. Currently, it is not confirmed, but it is said that President Trump himself will chair this council, and this council will go on to ensure that the measures outlined in this draft are applied and the implementation is oversighted in a transparent way. So, this plan is reportedly modeled on the arrangements which were made in the Gaza ceasefire. As Gaza ceasefire turned out to be a diplomatic success for the Trump administration, they have tried to repeat the same in the context of the biggest conflict on the planet at the moment and the most decisive one, that is Russia and Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war is currently a very big issue, and if it gets resolved, it will also be seen as a diplomatic victory for Trump administration, as one of their claims to get this war sorted out will be finally accomplished. So, coming back to the topic, this plan outlines that there will be certain demilitarized zones which Ukraine will have to accept. Donetsk, Luhansk will be given to Russia. Crimea will be given to Russia. So this is a controversial aspect, as these demands have long been a red line for the Zelensky administration and have long rejected any such demand. And it will be very important to see, it will be very interesting to see as what will be the stand of the Zelensky administration at this moment. This plan has generated a mixed reaction across the world. On one hand, the Ukrainian leadership and the European leaders expressed concern about this plan being disproportionately in favor of Russia. On the contrary, the allies of the US proposal, including Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban, praises the plan's focus on ending the conflict and views it as a pragmatic pathway. They also say that this is a difficult but necessary step toward peace, as affirmed by the White House. So, this shows that there is a glaring and very polarized situation globally about whether or not this is an acceptable demand. So, the 28th point Ukraine peace plan is a very decisive point. It is gonna show whether or not we are going to live in an age of peace, or what began in 2022 as a minor skirmish and has went on to become a raging war will continue as a very protracted struggle, and which will prove to be very decisive for the fate of Europe, for the fate of West, for the fate of the world. This plan seeks to balance security guarantees, territorial realities, humanitarian needs. However, it faces political barriers, practical challenges, and controversial concessions are the primary reason behind. As the Western allies of America say that this demand of giving up territory is something which is not acceptable, which is not worth it, which is not worth peace, according to them. So the success of this plan completely hinges on the ongoing negotiation between the involved parties, and the willingness of the leadership of Russia and Ukraine to compromise will determine whether or not there will be peace. And the role of international actors will also be very interesting to see in the context of this raging conflict. As the situation evolves, there will be diplomatic developments which will be very closely watched by all the parties across the world. And whether it be Russia, America, NATO, Ukraine, and the Asian countries also, everyone is equally interested in saying as to what happens next in what has become the largest conflict since World War II. That's it for today.